As a former New Hampshire state representative who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King in 1963, he currently serves on the New Hampshire Commission for Human Rights. He's a product of Birmingham, Alabama, where at one time he had to guess how many jelly beans were in a fruit jar just to be able to vote.
We've come a long way, but we're not there yet.
Together we will explore the visible laws, invisible laws, and the structures above and beneath our human surface that keep us reaching for the stars. It is his goal to work with you in putting Nashua back on top, to be voted the #1 city in the nation again.
We are in a crisis situation, and that's what we're going to talk about.
I'm Harvey Keye. Welcome to Nashua Strong.
Hello, Nashua, New Hampshire. How are you today? I missed you a few months. Harvey had pneumonia, and I had to stay away. I'm back to see you. I'm in your living room. They took my voice almost away. I still got a little bit of it, but the lawyer in this studio helped me get it back. It's a pleasure to see you. Thank you for allowing us to come into your living room and dens and your whatever rooms you call it. And thank these guys who are behind the scenes, Bob, Dan, Art, to make this a perfect show. They are the technicians that help us come to you and make it real for Nashua, New Hampshire. I'm not sure if we have spoken about why Nashua Strong is such a hit around the world. Well, first of all, Nashua is one of the greatest cities in this country. The safest city based on a magazine last year in the country. We have well, we do have some crime, but we don't have any shootings of the police. We have, I want to call it a homogenetic, I don't know if that's a good term, a good word, society. We in New Hampshire embrace all who come here. We welcome everybody who comes here. We hope you enjoy your stay when you come here to visit. Today I have the unique experience of interviewing a young man that I met, and I had to hit him over the head with a stick to come and have this interview. But after he told me that he was from North Carolina, and I went to school at Charlotte, we got to be almost talking friends. But he was trying to get rid of me for some reason. I can't understand. But finally, after I told him to look at my website, maybe my website, could go to Google and see what I do in this town for the last 50 years, he called me back, and that was a great surprise. Well, now we have him, but let me thank you so much for allowing me to sit here and speak with you about how to make Nashua stronger.
Of course.
Historically, Nashua is strong because when I moved here 50 years ago, the mayor also worked for the post office. Spitbrook Road was a dirt road. Most of the roads around here were dirt. And we didn't have the sophistication that we have today. Today we have a mayor called Jim Donches, who's been here and has brought this city with a crew of aldermen and other people who served in the community to the point of one of the best cities in the country to live. And I want to call you Timothy. I don't want to call you Mr. Barz. Mr. Barz, welcome to our city, and I hope you stay with us for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know if you introduced me yet, Bob, or not, but I guess I'm on TV. I don't see myself. Am I on?
You're on.
I'm on. Well, I want to ask Mr. Barz, this fellow that I met, and we're going to get right to it because we don't have all day.
Right.
Where were you born?
Was born in Duke University Hospital in Durham, North Carolina.
How long have you lived in Nashua?
I've lived in Nashua for about 4 or 5 years now.
What schools did you attend?
I attend Western Harnett High School. I attended and played football at Coney High School in Augusta, Maine. And I've also got my audio engineering certificate for 2 years, my associates at NESCOM in Maine.
What position did you play football?
Oh, I played defensive line.
Offensive line?
Defense and offensive line.
What was your number?
My number was 75.
My number was 91.
91,
That was in the Army.
Yeah.
So you went to Western Harnett High School in Durham. That was in Augusta, Maine, right?
No. Coney High School is in Augusta, Maine. Western Harnett High School is in Sanford.
Now, where did you get your certificate of music?
NESCOM in Maine. Yeah,
Maine.
Yeah, in Maine.
What part of Maine is that?
Limestone Presque Isle, the very top.
Yeah. Timothy, what's your last name?
Thorpe.
Thorpe. It's
Yeah.
like the football player?
Like Jim Thorpe, yes.
Did you try to emulate him ever?
My father tried his best to put that into me. Yes, he really did. He taught me about him. He taught me about my Native American roots also.
You're Native American?
Yes, my father is. Yeah, my mother is fully blood Nigerian.
Nigerian?
Yeah.
That's Africa.
Yes, that's African.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Young man, are you married?
I'm engaged.
Engaged?
I'm engaged.
And when is the ceremony going to take place?
She asks me that all the time. We don't know yet. We're going to be planning real soon, though. We planning.
Could I
right
suggest something to you?
What's that?
Take her on a cruise.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Spend a couple of $1,000s, I guess.
That's not bad.
Instead of spending $75 for a plate and invite 100 people, you invite me. And you spend...
I got you.
You spend $60,000 or $70,000 for a lot of people to eat and get drunk, and see you later.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Take a couple of $1,000s, take your wife and kids on a cruise, get married on a boat,
I like that.
and come back and have Harvey for dinner.
I got you.
All right.
I got you.
You got 2 kids, and I just met your kids. Your kids are gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. They're
And
awesome.
one is Ava,
Yes.
and the other one is Maya.
Yes, sir.
Now I have granddaughter, who is Mia.
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 Yeah, M-I-A?
Yeah.
Yeah, hers is M-Y-A.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let me ask you this, Tim. What inspired you to make music and play all of these instruments that you play?
Well, when I was very young, I remember my mom taking me to my first day of school. And we were just waiting for the bus stop to go, and I kind of like went to sleep a little bit, and I heard this song by The Art of Noise, and it was called The Music of Love. That's what it was called. And I had a full-on out-of-body experience listening to this music when I was such a young kid. It kind of like gave me my consciousness about music. It woke me up, the vibrations, hearing the sounds, understanding what's going on the track itself. And when I was listening to it, I wanted to know, how do they do it? What instruments are they using? I wanted to know the process. How many layers did it take to put that together?
How old were you at this time?
I was like 8.
And you got
I
this
was like 8.
stuff in your head.
Yeah, I love technology. Like, when I
Would
was
you
such a young
think that
person.
was a spiritual intervention?
I don't know. I can't even.
It had to be.
It had to be.
Because you didn't go to school to learn this stuff.
No, I didn't.
So it just
naturally
came into
to me. Yeah, it just naturally came
Well,
to me.
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're the first man I've met with a spiritual intervention.
I needed
That
it.
is called universal intelligence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you telling me that was mysterious and it opened your mind when you were 8 or 9 years old, 10 years old.
Yes, sir.
Who were your biggest musical influences?
I'm gonna definitely have to start with one of the best producers of all time, Dr. Dre. I'm gonna say Outkast also, because they brought something different from the South to the hip hop game. I love BB King. I love Tech Nine, who's also an independent artist out of Kansas City. It's a lot of great artists out there. Lil Wayne was a really, for writing raps, Wayne was a door or an advocate that I could use to basically put words together because he made it simple for me. But like my musical inspiration to play keys and piano was Chikapia, and he's a Japanese piano player. And what he did was he combined the chord progressions of Mozart and like Beethoven and combined it with modern pop.
You didn't go to school for all this?
No, I only went to school for audio engineering. I didn't go to school for music theory. I did it in school, like band and stuff like that, but I didn't really like learn about C minor and how many scales are in, or how many notes are on the scale.
Where'd you learn that?
I learned that playing in a band.
Where?
And in New Hampshire, in Nashua.
Which band?
The band's named Sepsis. I'm no longer a part of the band, but they were a great advocate for things for me to learn about music. And unfortunately, personalities clash, and personal things get overseen, and bad things happen. Bands break up, people break up, friendships end.
When you wake up in the morning, are you thinking music?
Always.
When you go to sleep at night, are you thinking music?
I'm rapping in my sleep. I'm saying something. I'm humming. I'm doing something every day. Every day.
Folks, this is a miracle in front of us. This is a spiritual intervention. This guy's never gone to school for this stuff.
No.
And he knows it like the back of his hand.
Kind of.
Wow, wow, wow. How do you approach songwriting? I mean, you didn't know how to write a song?
The way I approach it, I go through my experiences at that moment in time, anything that I go through during the day. Sometimes just having a conversation can spark an idea like that.
Have I ever said anything to you since I met you that made you want to write a song about Harvey?
Yes, you said.
Come on.
You said something in the car. I put it in a bar. You better go ahead and get that money, young man. I remember you saying that.
What did I say to you?
You said, go ahead and get that money, young man.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying that.
Because we talked about $100,000.
Yeah.
I said, you can get $200,000, $300,000.
Yep.
Why not get $1 billion?
I'm trying.
Okay, we're going to help you do that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm with that.
I asked you how you approach songwriting, and you talk about the notes. What's a note?
A note is a frequency hertz on a scale. It's 7 notes on the scale, right? You go C, D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it's no H. But in between those 7 notes, there are 5 keys, and they're all sharps or flats.
Is this a piano?
Yes, sir, it's a piano, yes.
Now, the back bars mean something to the white bars, right?
Yes. So if you have a white note, let's say you have C, if you go up a step, it's going to be the sharp of that note. But if you go down a step, it's going to be the flat. So when you say B flat, A minor, I know for a fact that B flat is going to be here, and I can play this set of notes on a 7-note scale that's always going to hit and sound good.
Hey, you young whippersnappers out there in Nashua, New Hampshire, listen to Mr. Barz. And you don't have to go to college to make $100,000 a year.
No, you don't.
can use your spiritual intervention and what I want to call it, universal intelligence.
Yes, I like that.
Universal intelligence, all of us have. Let's use it and stop complaining about no money.
Right?
Have you recorded your work? Have you recorded any of your work?
I do everything. I record myself. I film myself. I film artists that are a part of my company. I film all the artists in Nashua.
You have a company?
Yes, I have a company.
What's the name of your company?
It's YHL Young Hustle League.
Young Hustle. You know what a hustle is? That guy who shot pool? The movie was called The Hustler.
The Hustler.
That's right, and he made money shooting pool. This guy's making money dreaming about music.
That's it. That's literally all I do.
What are some of your accomplishments, Mr. Barz?
Some of my biggest accomplishments? Well, I know for a fact when I was in the metal band, we won 2 New England Music Awards back-to-back, and I got nominated just recently for Producer of the Year.
By whom?
By New England Music Awards, NEMA. It's called NEMA.
Does that have anything to do with Nashua community music?
No, not really. But they have people from Nashua that are on the board to get people on it. Big shout out to Midnight Creative. They run a venue right on 134 Haines Street called Terminus. And Luna, she was on the board, and sometimes she puts good artists in so people can get their name out there. But yeah, I worked with them, and I definitely want to say this. I worked with Verbal Warzone, and Verbal Warzone is an on beat battle league, and shout out to Premier Rap Battle League too. I'm also a battle rapper. I got to be able to battle rap against someone under a New York bridge in one of the 5% of temples in New York City, and that was a really deep connection with hip hop for me because I never thought I'd be in that place like that, in the mecca of hip hop. With all these wonderful spiritual faces and being able to have my face paint on and battle rap and yell in someone's face and tell my story. And that to me was like one of the biggest accomplishments. And I had my brother with me at the time, Beneficial Bane Carter, who was also the CEO of YHL Young Hustle League. I'm the president, he's the CEO.
So you're a businessman?
Yes, sir, I have to be.
And you didn't go to school to get a master's and MBA in business?
No, sir, not at all.
Well, I got one of those and I don't know nothing about business. but you see, everybody don't have to go and get all of that because they could use their intuition.
Yes.
There's universal intelligence.
Definitely.
And hustle.
Yeah, the hustle.
You gotta hustle.
You gotta hustle.
You gotta hustle.
I do have my GED though. I do have my GED. I got expelled from high school, unfortunately, for a fight. But
and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I got it at a young age, but get some schooling. Schooling is not a bad thing. It's really good to have.
But it's not a requirement.
It's not a requirement. No,
Right.
it's not a requirement.
What is a requirement?
An open mind. An open mind to being able to take criticism, to be able to accept other artists, and have a little bit of love in your heart, you know? That's about it.
Young folks, listen to this man who's less than 30 years old. He's close.
I'm close.
Listen to the wisdom that comes out of his mouth about how to live in this country and in this world by hook and crook. And sometimes more crook than hook.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But
No, you're right.
You gotta have some bad to get some good.
You gotta have some bad to get some good, definitely.
Now you have done something with the Black Heritage Trail in New Hampshire, Jared Borges.
Yes, I have. I was able to go to Boston, Mass with my beautiful wife, and we were able to talk and speak about certain things that were going on in the BIPOC community, about how can we make this music more acceptable for the community so that people can stop being negative. You know, it was a lot of negativity in the hip hop game where people want to hurt each other and do the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like, and I think right now it's the best time for positivity. It's the best time for lyricism to come back into music. It's really good to see these young guys do something positive, but the things that they're talking about is not there. So they had me speak on the board with they had a Japanese person there that was talking about the acceptance of J-pop, the J-pop community being in the BIPOC community. And J-pop is basically the black version of Japanese people. They're like doing their hair like us. They're doing things. I don't take offense to it, but they were talking about, is it offensive? Is it appropriate for them to do that? And I was like, hey, if they like having dreads, let them have some
Why
dreads.
not?
Yeah, I was like, I ain't got nothing against that. And it was a real debate on that stage about that. And I got to talk to a couple people about teaching young ladies how to progress and do things positive without showing their bodies and doing things they don't want to do.
You know, you sound like you could become a minister. And if you do, I want to become your deacon to pick up the plate, you know, pass the plate.
Later, pass the plate around. You want to get the tither?
Yeah.
I do have that nuance about me. I do.
I tell you, this is such a pleasure. And I can't tell you, young folks, listen closely to the wisdom out of this young man's mouth. And we don't get this all the time. And this is why Nashua is strong. We have stolen him from Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina, even Charlotte. He's not going back.
No, not yet.
He's going to stay here with us and help young people throughout our community develop their nuances that are inside of their heads that you don't have to go to school to do. Dig down deep inside and find yourself and go to Zen. You know what Zen is?
I do.
Finding yourself, being happy with yourself, learning, never stop learning. Folks, we are in deep conversation with a young man who's going to help us become even stronger in New Hampshire. Let me ask you, young man, what do you do outside of music that creates your ability to teach? What do you do outside?
But without doing anything with music, read. I read every day.
You read?
I read every day. Anytime I get a chance to, I try to take in an article here. I love newspapers. I didn't like them before, but once I got locked up before. So once I got locked up, I fell in love with the newspaper. I understood why it was there. You know what I mean? Advertisement, understanding why the words are big and they curve a certain way. And I take that same knowledge and I apply it to my flyers. I apply it to, I take the old media and make it digital, basically, and so that people can see it. So when you see my website, it's easy accessible because you should be able to go into a newspaper, cut out a coupon and take it, right? That's how I choose to do my website. I want you to be able to take my website home with you so that you can take it home, feel it, understand it as real. And I try to take those advertisement ideas that kept people enticed, that kept people coming to that store. Why I want to come to the store. I want to be able to have my family with me, and I want to understand what's going on here in this city or wherever you're at that moment in time. And that's what I use reading as a stepping tool for that. And also I do digital design also. I do art design.
Where'd you learn this?
Nowhere. I just did it all on my own.
Folks,
I did it all on my own.
you don't have to go to school. Go into your head.
That's it.
Into your brain. You said you could teach someone to sing. Now, I can't sing a lick.
Yeah.
None. I mean, matter of fact, they've only invited me to sing in a choir 1 or 2 times. And when the choir director looked at me and I opened my mouth, they said, "Come here, Harvey." I said, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. And they said, "Sit down." Wow.
Well, I think they were aggravated. You can't be mad at your students because they can't do something. That's the first thing.
They weren't mad. They just dismissed me.
Yeah, they were frustrated. That's frustration.
That's frustration.
That's frustration. That's a teacher's frustration.
Well, I've never been on stage again.
Well, you got your own stage now.
Yeah, I got a stage here, but it ain't singing.
Yeah, right.
If music is a universal language, Mr. Timothy Goodbarz.
Yeah, yes.
Some of your musical heroes, who are some of your musical heroes across all genres?
All genres?
Yes.
I'm definitely going to, for the metal side, I'm definitely going to say All Shall Prevail, Asking Alexander, all the drop D guitar playing bands out there. I love those guys. Hawthorne Heights are really good too. For hip hop, like I said before, was like Dr. Dre, Outkast, Tech Nine, Mos Def, Twali Kweli, A Tribe Called Quest, Busta Rhymes. For country, I listen to all country artists. I think they're all great. But Tim McGraw's one.
Why do you think they're great?
Because they write just good music.
They tell a story.
They tell a story every time. I don't. A lot of people don't like country. I love country. I love how they tell a story and they're able to. That now country sounds like R&B, but before when Tim McGraw and Nelly was around at the time, he had the Band-Aid on his face, and it's all in my head. Like the notes they use to make the music go together is really good, and I study that. I become a student of the game when I watch them.
You into music?
I'm into it. I'm never
100%.
100%. Never gonna let go. Never.
What about Whitney Houston? Do you do it?
I love Whitney. I love.
What about James Brown and Michael Jackson and Prince and all those guys?
James Brown. Okay, so those are the legends. Like right now, what I do with them, I fanboy out with them. Like if I ever got a chance to see an impersonation of Michael Jackson or James Brown and these guys, because they're not here no more, you know.
Right.
And these guys they're legends in my eyes, and they influenced me a lot. I think with Michael Jackson, what I pull the most from him is being able to have fun when creating music, right? Making the weird sounds. Like people are scared to do that, right?
Say that again. Hey, folks, I didn't hear that. I can't do that. Hey, say it again.
That's Michael. That's Michael. And it's just being able to use your voice and not be scared of your voice. Because some people are like, oh, I don't like the way I sound in the headphones, and oh, I don't want to listen to that. That's me. Like, yeah, that's you. You got to get used to that because it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And
what about Whitney Houston?
I love Whitney. Whitney. What I love about Whitney is her story and the fact that, you know what I mean, Bobby Brown is a New England representative, and everything they've been through. Her struggle is more of something that reaches out to me because she really came from nothing and really took it to a whole new level, just having music in her heart and having that mindset to do something. And I really do appreciate her story. Like, she's like one of my favorite female artists, and like, she was classy.
Can you do anything with her song?
I could sample it and make music out of it, but I don't know if I don't even know if they're gonna give me the rights to do that. Like, they might check, Bobby Brown might check my pockets. He might come up and do one of these on me like real quick, but I don't know.
Wow, man, I'm telling you, we are with a treasure in Nashua, New Hampshire with Mr. Barz. And you say you teach audio engineering?
Yes, I do. I teach audio engineering, lyricist.
Where do you do that?
Right in my studio.
You doing what they do?
Kind of. They're doing video production. What I do is I show you how to layer your vocals. When you lay down vocals, I show you what kicks to use, what snares to use.
You, if I came to your studio, you couldn't start there.
I can show you how to make music easy. I'm gonna show you how to make music in a few minutes.
I don't believe that.
I can show you. I'm gonna pull my keyboard out and I'm gonna have you pressing notes before you're gonna know the 7 scales, the notes, and everything. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna teach Harvey how to make a song.
Hey, all right. Hey, Bob, I need your help. I'm amazed. I'm electrified.
I'm glad.
I am so happy that you agreed to come on my show.
Of course. It's a pleasure, man, truly.
What I want to ask you, now, I have this fight for freedom.
Yes.
And I would like you to come to that fundraiser.
Right here, it's the Fight for Freedom. The Civil Rights Act was signed into law on August 6, 1965 by President Lyndon Johnson.
Yes.
It outlawed the discriminatory voting practices adopted in many southern states after the Civil War, including literacy tests as a prerequisite voting.
Now, would you be nice enough to come to that Freedom Fund dinner?
Yeah, definitely.
Pro bono.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and play whatever music you choose to for an audience of about 250 people.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll put you on a target. I have to get permission from the leaders to have you come and do that, but...
Awesome. No, can I take this home with me?
Yeah, you could have that.
Awesome.
And do you sing?
I guess
you
a little bit.
Are you like Harvey?
No. No, I wouldn't say that. What I do is I harmonize, and my wife's the singer. She's the real true singer out of the YHL group. But for me, I just make notes up, and I basically use a lot of auto-tune. But for you to use auto-tune, you have to understand how to use it. Some people just go on and they mumble a couple words and they think they got a hit. What I do with auto-tune is I make myself sound different. I can make you sound like a young woman if I wanted to.
Mein lieber dich. Not even. Well, let me ask you this, because we're going to shut this down in a few minutes and have you demonstrate your God-given talent.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Because we want to keep you in Nashua, and I'm sure Mayor Donches will appreciate me keeping you here.
Definitely.
Because you got to meet the mayor. Have you met him?
I haven't met the mayor. No, I haven't. It'd be a pleasure, though.
Yeah.
It truly would.
Well, he's awesome. Mm-hmm. He's awesome. He's one of the best in the country.
Awesome.
And let me ask you a couple other questions. What is your greatest joy?
My greatest joy is hearing my kids sing.
What?
Hearing my kids sing.
Hearing your kids sing?
Yes.
Can they sing today?
I don't know.
No.
They might be scared.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they sound great. I love when they sing my stuff and my wife's stuff.
If we can get them on stage, because we're going to end this now.
Okay.
And then if you could come out and do that, we'll send that. We'll patch it in.
Yep.
And then this is going to be on YouTube.
Okay.
So you're going around the world.
I'm with that.
Yeah. We don't mess around, man. We got a lawyer back there.
I love that. I need to get me one lawyer in the back. That's what I need.
All right. Well, we got him right here. Well, we got to look like somebody's. Hello.
She want to go on stage. She heard herself trying to go on stage already.
Okay.
You're so sweet.
Oh yeah, thank you. Maya, you gonna sing, Maya?
Whatever. We'll finish, right, Bob?
How about you go?
You're in charge. You tell me what you want.
Well, we could patch him in now.
Okay.
I want to ask him one more question, and then we could patch him in. What has been your greatest contribution to Nashua?
My greatest contribution to Nashua, I would definitely have to say, is creating an avenue and a sanctuary for people to come and make music and feel like they don't want to be judged, and being, my fault. I went to the Nashua Music Community Center for kids right over there by the City Hall building, and I was able to teach the kids in there about music, and I was able to record them. They're great musicians, better than anybody I've ever seen. These kids were playing trombones, violins, everything. I'm like, what? I said, y'all don't know how to record? I was like, I'm gonna show y'all. So I gave them FL Studio, and 2 monitor speakers, showed them how to set it up, showed them how to plug in their instruments and record. So now you have a bunch of 8 and 9-year-olds that play instruments that know how to record themselves.
Let me say this to you, young man, young whippersnapper. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes,
for coming
sir.
to our community.
We here.
And helping us grow to be better and bigger and stronger.
Yes, sir.
Come back again.
I will, always. You already know.
Thank
I got
you so much. Thank you, Nashua, and thank you for the technicians behind the scene who has made us look professional. Now, this video is going around the world, so it's on YouTube, and we're all done. Thank you, Nashua. Thank you for allowing us to come in your living room, and hope you enjoyed our show. See you next time. Folks, this is a result of my fine on the street and had to hit him over the head to get in here. This is what you're going to be listening to, hopefully a lot more in Nashua and around the world. Here's a man who just moved to Nashua about 7 years ago, and he's going to help make Nashua strong, stronger and stronger. And I want you to listen closely, because he didn't go to school to learn this. It came from his heart, came from his head, came from universal intelligence, came from struggle and hustle and wanting more. And if we don't want more, we may not even be here. So let me introduce you to the musician from the ground up, Mr. Timothy Goodbarz. I said it wrong, but you know what I mean. Here he is.
What's up, y'all? I'm yours truly, Mr. Goodbarz, YHL Young Hustle League representative, and I'm here to show you guys basically the 7-note scale and a couple things that you can do with a keyboard or anything that has a MIDI controller to build in the studio. You can create all your music right here. I don't have a laptop with me. I don't have nothing. As you can tell, I got all my sounds right there. And if you don't know, I can control sound any which way I want without touching my keyboard. See that? Harvey, put your hand right there. See if you can. See? You can control sound now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. Ooh.
Wow. I'm almost a musician.
Almost. You're almost there. So basically, I just want to tell you guys, it's 7 notes on a scale, and then you have 5 sharps or flats, and that's the black keys right here. So you have C, D, E, F, G, and it starts over again, A, B. Now you would think it would start A, But it doesn't do that, and the reason being is because C is the even between on the ABC to B scale when it starts over, where the notes can repeat themselves and it changes an octave. So you're evenly this is a 47 key, so you're evenly distributed on those 7 notes on a frequency plane.
Is this the same as a piano?
Yes, it's the same as a piano. Yeah, it's nothing different. This is on grandbaby pianos. I learned the other day, I think Beethoven, who was a artist, he used to keep a metal rod, because he was deaf, connected to his grandbaby piano, and he used to put his mouth on it and chew on it and play the piano while he was playing to write his notes.
Who was this?
Either Beethoven or Mozart, whichever one of those two who were deaf.
Yeah.
And they had it come out the grand piano, and he didn't have a monitor. He couldn't even hear it. All he would do was just hold the metal rod, and he would say, "Oh, that's a suspense 7th," or "That's C minor," or "That's C major." It makes you happy. And each expression, each chord is an expression tool. So as long as you have notes aligned, which is like C. Now, if you add the chords, now you have a song, so you can start building a song. Basic 101 song structure is it always goes intro. For rock and roll, it goes intro, verse, chorus, verse again, bridge, pre-chorus, chorus, outro. And that's how you basically construct a song.
Folks, on planet Earth, there's about 9 billion folks. And all of these folks came from the same source called a blob of protoplasm. Say it again. No one can explain to you what a blob of protoplasm is, but all of us came from that blob of protoplasm. Now, and having said that, each one of us have a consciousness, and none of us can tell you where that came from. But each one of us who has a consciousness has endowed within us a universal intelligence, and nobody can tell you where that came from. But somebody can tell you that each of these 9 billion folks on planet Earth has a genius. And you don't have to get a master's degree to become a genius. I'm looking at a genius, Mr. Goodbarz, right here, who has a genius in music, and he didn't go to PhD. He played a little thing here with, what was that lyric you just played? Who was the guy?
What, the band?
Yeah, no, the guy who put a rod in his mouth.
Oh, Mozart.
Mozart, you have heard someplace in your life the extension of genius in an individual. All of us has a genius, we just have to find it. And this man called Timothy has found his genius. Congratulations, young man.
Appreciate
and thank
that.
you so much. Play for us as long as you can and make us stronger in Nashua, New Hampshire.
Definitely. I saw you guys the basic chord progression. Harvey, I just want to say thank you for having me on.
Thank
It's
you.
always been a pleasure. Shout out to everybody in the back. Shout out to my family. And I'm just going to show y'all a couple things. Like if I wanted to create a song, right,
Yeah.
I would definitely start with chord progressions in the song. Now, to let you know what that's going on right there is all it is one single note is D, C, A sharp, A. Again, that's C, D, C, A sharp, A. And all I'm doing with my right hand is playing my melodies. So my left hand's the bass and my right hand's the melody. So if I go like, and that's a little help from that side, but So now I can set my keyboard to play certain things and synths. As you can tell, it's strings on this side and synth on this side because the Roland FA gives me a chance to break down my keyboard any which way I want. Now, usually you can just do single or dual, which is 2 at the same time. But I like to split my keyboard just in case I want to play something different. Now, you say that, like, you hear that part, you don't want to keep just playing that, right? Like, that's going to get repetitive. If you just keep. So what you do is you create a melody line.
Now, folks, what you hear is gorgeous music, but to me, it's a foreign language.
And turn around. And that's it.
Thank you so much. Folks, we have a genius in our presence. Thank you. Come back again.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next time.